Hello everybody, my name's Clare Farrell. Welcome to Good Neighbours. I'm presenting today with Jess Flynn and I'm one of the co-founders of Extinction Rebellion, but now I campaign for a real democracy.
I'm Jess Flynn, as she said, actor, theatre maker and activist. Welcome.
The Good Neighbours show, this pilot, is part of the Fête of Britain. The Fête of Britain is a nationwide 4-year-long campaign, bringing together music, conversation, creativity, and Good Neighbours is where the spirit of our campaign hopefully is coming together for our first ever magazine show.
Now, you are coming to us. We are live from London's Brixton at the Bureau of Silly Ideas. Thanks for having us. And we are actually under a railway arch. So if you hear a distant rumbling, it isn't the next environmental disaster, probably. It's the Orient Express, actually.
And if you're joining us online, let us know some comments on YouTube. Say hello. We're going to bring you some stories and some interviews with people from around the UK. Our guests are doing really important work on the ground, organisations building real impact in our neighbourhoods and our regions.
So today's guests include Anthea Lawson, campaigner and founder of wonderful community organisations. We've got Maff and the Camerados, and Karen and Rose from Support and Action Network in Oldham.
We will also be hearing from our special sponsor, Eco Warrior Barbie.
But first, a quick look at today's top good news stories. It's the end of two-party Britain. Labour and the Conservatives, who've dominated for over 100 years, are now tanking, and the Greens are shaking things up. They're gaining thousands of members daily and are now the only party offering a hopeful solution to Nigel Farage's immigrant-obsessed reform. New Greens leader, Zach Paletsky, is giving us straight answers, not just for the climate crisis, but on how to tax billionaires and rebuilding public services, and for a future for all in hope, not fear.
There are also flags everywhere, all over the UK. Friend of ours and this show, Jeremy Della, posters have gone up all over the country, including this one, reminding us that migrants are actually bloody brilliant. And there's an artist movement called Reclaim the Flag coming out of Manchester, which is reclaiming what it means to hold our nation in a positive and inclusive light, championed also by Manchester's Gary Neville. And we are bringing back the Union Jill flag, which you can see in the studio today.
ID cards. Britons are finally united in their rejection of Keir Rodney Starmer. Yes, he's revealed that was his middle name. His proposal is backed by former PM Tony Blair. Surprise, surprise. It's been revealed that Tony Blair's son, Ewan, runs the company that will be set to make hundreds of millions of pounds in producing the ID cards. The countless critics warn that this would lead to mass surveillance and would be a personal security nightmare. But our friends at Turtle Soup have designed these non-mandatory ones, which I'm sure you'll agree are much better. That's Claire.
And mega music streamers Spotify have seen a surge in people deleting their accounts and switching to alternative music providers that pay artists better. It's emerged that Spotify founder Daniel Ek invested 100 million in AI killing machines, including drones. And Spotify's long been accused of not paying its artists properly. So now there are apps to help you switch your beloved playlists over, and there's no reason to stay. Bye-bye, Spotify.
Finally, the weather. I always wanted to be a weather girl. As I said, we are coming to you from an underground bunker, so I don't have a clue what it's like out there. I've been here for weeks, so you're going to have to put your head out the window or go outside. We can't do it all for you. Look at the sky.
We all want to be good, good, good. Good neighbor.
Okay, but now it's time to welcome our first ever guest. We have Anthea Lawson. She's an author, a campaigner, and a community organiser.
Anthea's written books, campaigned, and she's even attempted to plant a garden in the middle of Parliament Square. But she's here today to talk to us about the work she's doing in South Devon. It's called Common Ground. She's invented a thing called a democracy meter. And to find out what it is, please welcome Anthea Lawson. Welcome, Anthea.
Hi, Anthea.
Hi there. Thanks for having me. This is totally brilliant, and I'm very excited to be here.
Yay!
Thanks. We haven't got a clue what we're doing, so it's...
Looks fine from here.
Yeah, right. I've got some questions. Tell us, first of all, why have you written so much about community organisers and the lives of activists?
Yeah, I'm writing about activism like really broadly, not just community stuff. I suppose I describe myself in one way as a recovering NGO campaigner, so I've done lots of different kinds. You know, like everyone else here, I want a world that's like based on caring for life and not revolving around money. And I'm interested in the deep stories that help make the dominant culture what it is. I'm interested in how they're transmitted across generations. I'm interested in how we might interrupt them, actually. And activism, it's something I've done for a long time, but also I think it's an interesting place to start interrupting some of those patterns with people who might be willing to do so. And the reason I got into writing about this is I noticed that there were ways sometimes in which our actions are not always congruent with the world that we want to create. You know, so I was working for human rights organisations and I'd see human rights defenders treating each other terribly. Or in another realm, in climate activism, you see us trying to kind of stop industrial growth economics from burning out the planet, and we burn ourselves out. The patterns in the system we want to fight repeat in us, and that's what my book, The Entangled Activist, was about. So in my writing, what I'm trying to do is offer ways for us to think about the psychology and the spiritual aspects and the philosophical aspects, all of the kind of cultural stuff that underpins what we're doing, some of which is unconscious. And we can't really see what's going on until we actually kind of like start to look at it.
Can you tell us about your organisation, Common Ground, and this democracy meter that you've created?
Yes. Now, look, first thing I should say is it wasn't my idea. Amazingly, there's another woman called Anthea Simmons who came up with this along with the founders of the South Devon Primary, which was an attempt to get serious about sort of strategic voting, by which we managed to get a progressive alliance and get everyone behind, choose who to get behind, to get rid of the Tory MP. There'd been a Tory incumbent for 100 years, and we got rid of them at the last election. So it's a kind of street level technology for starting conversations, and it's really fantastic kind of analog lo-fi technology. You need a flip chart and some flip chart paper, and you need some markers, and you need a load of stickers, and everyone likes stickers. And we basically put some questions up. You can go to the website or the Insta if you can't see the questions on there. And they're often questions that don't have a kind of clear-cut answer. It might be, would you want to live in Trump's America? Do you think there's more that unites than divides us? Do you think young people have got it harder than their grandparents' generations? And really, the purpose of this is to get into conversations. It's to get into political conversations on the street. And the reason we're doing that is, well, look, the billionaires who own the right-wing media and the social media channels have tried to hijack the conversation. And we're saying, no, actually, we think that people are not algorithms. We think that if we actually get into conversation with people, interesting things happen. And what happens is there's huge appetite for these kind of conversations. I tend to stop people, you know, we've all got, those of us that are doing this, we've all got different ways of getting people into the conversations. You know, we're just setting up in shopping streets on a Saturday morning, sometimes on a weekday. And we say, well, my way of doing it is I go, oh, do you want to come and have a chat, have a quick chat with us? And they're like, you know, what's it about? Who are you from? And I say, well, we're not from a political party. Actually, tell you what, we're a bunch of grumpy middle-aged women, and we think that the state of political conversation on the news and on social media is absolutely terrible, and we think we can do better here on the street. Do you want to come and have a go? And they're usually a bit intrigued and go, yeah, all right then, come on, let's have a chat. And it starts from there. It's a form of deep canvassing, really.
I love that. And can
If
other
you really
people
want your
sort
country
of
back,
take this? Okay. You could just play it. That was something that we wanted to show you in just 1 minute. But I was going to ask you, do you think that the model you're talking about is something that could be easily adopted by other people in different communities as well?
Yeah, we think it might be. You know, it might not look exactly like this. You know, we're not here saying everybody should do it this way. That's the last thing we should do. You know, we're a bunch of friends who know each other and you know, associated people, you know, who found each other. You know, different people sign up and join us each time we do it. A lot of people are like, say, you know, they're glad to see us doing it and can they join in? And we say, yes, great. Come and get involved. Come and join us next week. But there might be other ways of doing this. In fact, I'm very keen to find out if there are other people doing equivalent things or things like it. I want to be in conversation with them. I can't believe we're the only people doing stuff like this, which is why we've just made a website and just got ourselves set up on Instagram just this week. We've been doing it for quite a few months now. There may be other ways to do it, but the thing that does feel really clear is that talking is the way forward. You know, I said I used to do sort of NGO campaigning. That was a kind of elite level access where we'd go and lobby politicians and produce like carefully evidenced research reports. Of course, all that is important, especially in a time when truth seems to be going by the wayside for those who would like it to do so they can't be scrutinised. Like, of course, that's important. But that kind of approach on its own is being overtaken by what's going on. And the whole sort of setup, the whole environment of democracy in which we can even do those kind of approaches are not going to work. They're not going to be available anymore if we end up with the kind of governments that are threatening. So unless we do get out and talk in our communities, I think that's the baseline of where it starts. And that might look very different to what we're doing, but there might be things in common too.
I'm sure there will be things in common, because I think you've hit the nail on the head there. It is just about people that feel disempowered, feeling empowered just to have a chat. Someone I think you'll agree with and who I think you'll also like is a poet, Holly McNish, who almost popped up in the middle of you speaking before, but she's going to pop up again and we'd love to hear your thoughts on her.
She's an absolute hero, so yeah, I'd love to do that.
If you really want your country back, go ahead and take it. It's not difficult. There are posters up on every street about what your town needs help with. Local litter picking groups are always on the lookout. The library needs volunteers. The youth club needs a paint job. The community centre's desperate for folk to go on weekdays to play board games with older residents or help out in the cafe. The Rape Crisis Centre needs fundraisers and donors, and drivers are in dire need to get non-drivers to doctors. The library needed volunteers all summer. Did you go there? The local football clubs need coaches and Lions folk and supporters. And if you do not want to help with anything above, just admit you do not give a shit and shut the fuck up.
There's something about that, Anthea, that's kind of chimes with a comment that I know you relayed back to us at the convention that we met each other at in September. You met somebody who said, I hope not everyone's like me. Can you just say something about, you know, because you meet, when you go out and do these kinds of conversations, you meet all sorts of people, don't you? You do, I mean, I've done it. You hear extraordinary things.
Yeah, it's really, it's extraordinary. And I just love doing it. Like, I mean, the thing I love most is being in communication with people and hearing their stories. You know, that's why I trained as a journalist 30 years ago. I love that. And also it's full on sometimes, because when you ask these kind of questions, you know, we usually have a question about immigration, you know, so that there's an opportunity for us to start pushing back on some of the messaging that people are just like having like sprayed at them in a fire hose all the time. And so you encounter people's racism. And so I have to sort of steady myself and just sort of stay in the conversation a bit. It's like, right, well, if this is what I want to do, let me have a go. And I just keep asking why. I sounded a bit aggressive as I said that to you, because I'm sort of describing it from outside. But when I'm in it, I try and sort of drop myself a bit and I just say, oh, really? Why is that? And I just keep saying why. And after you say why a few times, and it invites people to express why they feel what they do, it starts sort of, their argument starts fragmenting a bit. And I think what is happening, it took me a while to realise it. And that particular comment where this lady said at the end of the conversation, oh, I hope everybody, it was an elderly lady, she was about 85. And she told me, you know, we talked for about 15 minutes and she told me quite a bit about her life. She also had some really entrenched views, which I couldn't begin to make headway with. The most I could do in that situation was to try and show, as we always do, the ways in which those views might be being weaponized by people who are not going to act in her economic interests, because sometimes you can make some headway with that kind of approach. But I think what happened when I was like thinking about it over the following few days, that comment kept staying with me. I think she heard herself. I think on some, we're all made up of multiple parts, and I think some human bit at the heart of her heard herself speak, and she maybe became a bit conscious of it. That's all I can guess. I don't know. I can't make windows into people's souls, but that was my guess. And it felt like something slightly profound just happened in that interaction between us, in which we got on, and she felt heard, and I was allowing myself to, be slightly moved by what she was saying, in the sense that I was allowing it to register on me, rather than just going, God, this woman's an out-and-out racist, I can't talk to her. Which, in other circumstances, I might just have gone, I don't want to deal with that. There's a lot sort of to unpack in these interactions, but it was something like that.
Well, I think often people probably are saying all these things to themselves, and they're not having these actual chats, so that's just sort of whirling around their heads, and it's sort of very negative. And then the minute they actually say it out loud to another person, maybe it took her by surprise. So that was really important.
Yeah, maybe. I think also people are being bombarded with such, the repetition, the far right and reform, and all of every sort of shade of far rightness. They're all doing the same thing, which is just repeating. And we know from sort of framing theory, George Lakoff's work, that works. And so what I see in these conversations is the extent to which a lot of people don't really know, like, this is what I stand for, these are my views. They've got their personal concerns about their material situation, which everyone's got to some varying degree at the moment, some very seriously. And they've got their feelings about that. And then that gets kind of caught up in this bombardment. So when people are offered a bit of space to have a think about it, maybe something else emerges. Maybe, not always. Like some people, you can't go there at all.
And finally, we're going to ask all of our guests this. We were wondering, what do you think it takes to be a good neighbour?
A good neighbour. Oh, there's so many versions of this, aren't there? I thought Holly McNish, she's such a hero. She said a load of them. It's the people getting involved at the food bank and the Pay What You Can community cafe, and it's the people trying to keep the shit out the river, and it's the woman I know who walks around everywhere with a huge Palestinian flag to remind everyone that there's a genocide going on in Gaza. It's all of these things, but I think what they've, it's the woman I know who knows everyone on the street and checks in on the old folk and knows exactly how to get the street shut for a really banging street party. But really what all these things have got in common is that they're about being in communication, and they're not sort of either being in this polarity of like, oh, I've got to save the world myself and I don't know how to do that, so I shan't even start, or sitting at home and not doing anything. They're actually just getting out there, because all of those things start with a conversation.
Brilliant. Well, thanks very much, Anthea. Thanks for joining us. And where can we get hold of one of your books, just quickly?
Oh, yeah, they can be ordered from all the usual places, but let's not give any money to Jeff Bezos. It's called The Entangled Activist, and the new one's called How Not to Save the World, and it'll be out next June.
Thank you
Fabulous.
so much, Anthea Lawson.
Thanks, Anthea.
Thank you.
Our first ever guest, Claire, how exciting. And now, ladies and gentlemen, we have our second guest. We've got Maff Potts of Maff Potts and the Camerados. He has got loads and loads of experience working with the homeless, but while he noticed that even those homeless people that got housed, he would often find they would come back to him and be homeless again. And he realised that the reason was, it wasn't the house, it was the lack of community that they had. He believes without community, we're doomed. And he talks about this in his book that was published earlier this year called Friends and Purpose. It's been called the most important political book of the year by our producer, Alex, who's really good friends with Maff. So we don't have any bias on this show. But it does sound bloody good, and I can't wait to hear about it. So tell us a bit more about Maff, Claire.
Well, Maff came up with a simple idea for building connection. People sitting around and chatting in a no-agenda space with no hot topics, no serious political discussion, but just talking about anything they like. He has supported a movement of people setting up these kind of no-agenda spaces all over the UK. And the organisation Camerados provides kits to people, basically a cardboard box. It's like a living room in a box. It's all the bits and pieces you need apart from the armchairs, so that people can make these spaces for connection wherever they are.
Debate is dead. Long live irreverent chats, tea and biscuits. Please welcome via Zoom, everybody, Maff Pops.
Hello.
Maff, where are you and what are you doing?
Well, it's important to bring your own fanfare to a gig, I thought. We'd have a bit of an ease up. Can you hear me?
Yeah, that was so good. Thank you so much.
Oh, good. Yeah. Well, I was supposed to be outside, but there's a bloody storm outside my window, so I'm inside, I'm afraid.
Oh, I love the colourful backdrop. You're matching us perfectly. Thank you so much.
So, Mav, tell us, first of all, when there's not a probably made much more likely by climate change storm that ruins your access to the outdoor world, what is Public Living Room all about, and why have you dedicated the last decade of your life?
Well, I wanted to show you today, and I had all my sofas and armchairs ready, and I had a space on my town common, but unfortunately nature had other ideas, so yeah, I'm afraid I've had to come inside, so sorry about that. But I've put up loads of fairy lights and decorations just for you, Claire, because I love you. Yeah, well, the public living rooms are, you know, with their places popping up all over the world now in people's neighbourhoods, in hospitals, libraries, parks, colleges, primary schools, wherever. And it's places where people can just look out for each other. But the important thing is no agenda, no fixing, no solutions, no outcomes, no finger wagging. We just sit and have company, because connection can be enough. And it's that first step just to bring people together. And yeah, we've got almost 300 now in 6 countries worldwide.
Wow.
It's such a good idea. I love it. And I love that you provide the kits for people to do that anyway. So anyone watching, if you'd like to host one, you can actually order a kit to do this yourself. Do you have any favourite stories from these living room sessions that you could share with us?
Yes, I have far too many. If only there was a book where you could read these stories. Well, there was a fella in Cardiff, and it's my favourite story in the book, although I've got a lot of favourites, but it was a fella called Paul, and he turned up, and all he had was grey jogging bottoms on, and a Tesco carrier bag full of beer. That was it. He was completely naked from the chest up. Half his ear was bitten off, and he had no teeth, really. Well, maybe a couple. And he said to me, Maff, he said, I won't lie. He said, I'm your basic nightmare on a Saturday night. He said, basically, I'm the fellow who causes the fight in the middle of town, and all the police come out, and he said, it's me, basically. I put all the windows in. And he said, but I haven't done that for a while. And I asked him why not, and he said, well, he said the other night he'd gone along to the night shelter to try and get a bed for the night, and he was very jolly, high-spirited, and he was a bit too high-spirited, and he was kind of making very loud jokes, and he upset a few people in the queue. So the night shelter manager kicked him out and said, you're not getting a bed tonight. So he went off, and he said he was walking down the street, talking to himself, and he was really angry with himself. And he was shouting and sort of literally verbally shouting at himself. And some people outside a pub laughed, but they were probably laughing at their own joke. But in his head, they were laughing at him. So he went over, and as he said to me, you know what happens next. He said, I caused a bit of a fuss. The blue lights were coming around the corner. He said, I know how this is going to end up. I'm going to put a few people in A&E. I'm going to end up in the cells, court hearings, etc. Anyway, he said it didn't happen like that night, because the policeman who came out of the police car came towards him, put his arms out and said, Paul, what's got you all in a tiz? Come here and have a hug.
Oh.
And Paul was telling us this story, and you could hear a pin drop. We all just leant in, and tears started to form in Paul's eyes. And he just said, he didn't have to say that, did he? He said, wasn't that lovely? He said, well, it totally brought me right down. He said, and I went over and I gave him a hug, and we sat and we had a chat. And he said, I haven't caused trouble since because I don't want to let him down. And I just think behaviour, it's a powerful weapon.
Oh, that's so lovely. What a lovely story.
Thanks, Maff. And so we've had conversations before, Maff, about your approach to supporting people and learning about what it is that people need when they're in like those dark times, when they're doing bad behaviours or when they're really, really in a dark place themselves. And if we find people struggling, suffering, lonely, isolated, what's your best advice about what people can do to help one another?
Well, over the 10 years we've been doing this, Claire, we've ended up finding out that people are weird. And so they come with baggage, and they don't just look out for each other, and they love hierarchies. And so actually what you have to do is you have to have these ideas to sort of just remind people that we're human and can look out for each other. We have it all in us. It's nothing new, but we have these principles, these 6 principles, and they just help you connect better and kind of drop the bullshit a bit and look out for each other. And the most powerful of the 6 principles by far in my book is if you see somebody struggling, ask them to help you rather than help them. And I got to tell you, Claire, it's absolute magic fairy dust stuff. It has never, ever failed. So I remember a lass called Beverly came into a public living room once, and she had like a pink hoodie on and jeans, and she had blood all down her hoodie because her husband had just thrown her down the stairs. And the ambulance men were going to take her to the pier because she asked to go to the pier because she wanted to jump off. But they had second thoughts, which was good, and they brought her to the public living room. And she came in the public living room, and I gave her 2 cups of tea, and I said, listen, love, I'm sorry you're having a rough day, but Colin in the corner, the old boy on the mobility scooter, he's really lonely. Could you take him a cup of tea and have a chat with him? So Beverly, covered in blood, goes over to Colin, has a cup of tea. The 2 of them sit there. Within 10 minutes, Colin's telling her his bad jokes. She's laughing. When I came back that afternoon, Beverly's got an apron on, and she's making tea for everybody in the public living room. So without doubt, the most powerful idea is to say someone the 6 most powerful words in the English language. Can you do me a favour? Can you do me a favour? And it totally changes the dynamic, and people who are helpless and feel not trusted and not valued are suddenly trusted, valued, and they've got a sense of purpose, and they give you a hand and they feel good. Doesn't change everything in their life, but it just changes that dynamic in that moment. So I really encourage everybody to turn to someone and say, listen, I'm a bit lost. Can you give me directions here? Or, you know, can you help me with this? Or what's your advice about my kids? You know, whatever. Just ask them a favour.
Amazing. So simple.
That's such good advice. Thank you so much. On a slightly more light-hearted note, can you tell me about your enormous underpants? Because I've heard that you can fit several people in them. And can you tell me how they've aided community bonding?
Well, it's funny, but would you believe, and I'm not joking, that this storm outside means that a tree has fallen down and I can't get to my office this morning. And in my office, I was going to bring some pants, and then I was going to stand up and show you my enormous pants. But unfortunately, I couldn't get to my office. Can you believe that? So we have giant silk underpants, and we have hundreds of pairs. What we do is we dance in the street in them, and people say, what the hell are you doing? And you say, well, life is pants sometimes, isn't it? So why not dance? And so you get into a conversation about life being a bit pants. And it tends to work better than the sort of black and white charity porn that makes everybody feel shit about themselves, where we go, aren't people feckless, isn't the world awful? And everybody crosses the street because they don't want to have to face it. Or the link on Instagram that you don't listen to about Gaza, you know. So what we try and do is we engage people with enormous frilly pink underpants, and then they find it hilarious, and then we get into a conversation, and before too long we're talking about some fairly heavy stuff. But you meet people with humour. I devoutly believe that to be silly is to be human. And that's another one of our principles, is silliness is very important. And it's very serious. People think we're being like, you know, kind of taking these issues and making light of them, but far from it. Far from it. I believe silliness is right next to hardcore tragedy.
Do people get a big pair of free giant underpants in your starter pack?
Well, funnily enough, we've just started putting them in the boxes. Yes, you do. Everyone will get one. And the great thing is it's big enough for 2 or 3 people to get in them. I mean, these pants are big. I mean, I'm talking big pants. And the nice thing is they're actually sewn by women who've come out of prison and haven't got any work. They're in Skelmersdale, and they make the pants from us from recycled material.
Maff, you are such a legend. It's so lovely to meet you, kind of, in this way. Thank you so much for joining us. And anyone that wants to know more about this or indeed find Maff's book, please find it not on Amazon. It is on Amazon, but, go somewhere else.
Can I tell you where to go and get it?
Say again.
Well, there's an independent bookshop in my town, and I'd much rather everybody buys it from there. So if you go to Wallingford Bookshop, Helen will pop a post in the post for you, and it's £1 cheaper than Amazon. Thank God.
Yay.
Good old Helen.
Thanks so much, Maff. What I could speak to Maff all day. What a lovely man.
Right.
So lovely. Okay. Now, we have got a live audience in today. That is not canned laughter that you've been hearing. Prove that you're real. That's so real. Okay. We've been asking them little questions. We've got them to fill out some lovely forms. Have you all done that? Yeah. About what they think a good neighbour is and examples that they've had of meeting good neighbours in the past. We've also put that question to you online. So if you want to pop those comments now, we'll get to them in a minute after we've read some of these, which I shall fetch.
Come on then.
Hello. Anyone got any interesting? Has anyone filled it out? No. Okay. We got
This one's been written by a GP, which means you can't read it.
No.
Got any more? Okay, so the first one I've got here, this is Runhead is the name. It's a running club based in Nunhead in South East London. As I used to live near there. It's only running because the rest of life is far more important. So always help the struggling running community over running performance.
Always help the runner. Community over performance.
Community over performance. Okay, great. Runhead. Runhead making Nunhead good. I never went on a run whilst I was in Nunhead, so I've messed that right up. Jess.
We've got some comments online. We've got Rishi Sunak has written in.
Fantastic.
He said, good neighbours, what are they? I live 9 miles from the nearest human. Do you mean staff? Okay. Thanks so much, Rishi. We've got a very diverse audience today. Anyone else?
Any more good neighbours?
Shout out things that make a good neighbour, just words.
Ice cream.
Ice cream, always a good neighbour. Yeah. Anyone else?
Dogs.
Dogs, very
Dogs.
good. Better than humans. When humans fail, dogs always win. Okay. Beautiful. Okay. Right. So now, that
Straight into our commercial break.
That's
Jess.
right. That's right.
The dream of live TV has come true for you, Jess.
Thank you. Okay. Am I looking at the right camera? Okay, no, now we have a little message from our sponsor. This is the multinational conglomerate Eco Barbie.
Made of mushrooms, she's the best. Eco warrior Barbie, putting bad guys to the test. Eco warrior Barbie.
Do you have the bolt cutters? Yeah.
She's the one who takes control.
We're almost there. Lockdown. Rest. I'm too late. I'll go file a lawsuit.
When adults are wrong, she'll do what's right.
That was a perfectly good bucket of poo.
She'll go anywhere, even France.
Daryl. Julia.
Phoebe,
Diamante.
not afraid to serve the cause. Eco warrior Barbie.
Pussy Riot masks sold separately.
Thanks so much to our sponsors. They've paid for all the jacket potatoes, which is the only reason anyone came, to be in the audience. Okay, now welcome back. We're going to go now and talk to some awesome women from Oldham that I met earlier this year. They work with an organisation called Support and Action for Women's Network. They use humour, compassion and, yes, cups of tea, again, to tackle difficult and challenging situations, including supporting people with immigration and even including FGM. So I'm hoping that now we've got Karen and Rose, who are going to join us from their organisation, SORN, and we're going to hear a little bit from them.
Hello.
All right, ladies.
Good morning. Hi.
Thank you so much for joining us. First of all, do you want to tell everyone a little bit about how SORN got going? How did you get started?
Hi. You've got 4 of us in 4 different places.
Right. Amazing.
Can you hear?
Yeah, we can hear you. Can you hear us?
Lillian? Yes, we can hear you. Is Lillian there? And Nora? Hi.
Hello. Okay, can you hear me okay? There's your cup of tea. Right, can you tell
Cup of tea. There we go.
Rose, can you tell us how SORN got started? No.
Actually, who migrated to Oldham from Uganda as an academic going to uni and realized that despite her education and thinking she knows enough English, she actually struggled to understand the system. The basics of where do you get the GP? Where do you go if you need this? Which are the best schools to go to? How do you actually apply for a house? Where do you go if you have a crisis? So out of this, she kind of got her friends in the community together. They'll meet up and share information. Also, you've got kids who are older. Which high school do they go to? How did you choose it? Or you've found a market. Where did you find it? Can you take us there? So through that, they shared information and started supporting each other on how to live in the community. And SORN has kind of worked on that ethos from 2007 to now. Up to now, we still get together as women, Black African migrant women, and share information. What do you know that you can share with your community to help them progress? So obviously now things have evolved. We know a bit more. Some of us are qualified social workers. Rose is a researcher. We've got teachers in the group. We've got doctors, and we bring guests in as well. But it's basically having a point of contact where you can share information and support each other to thrive in the community. So that's how SORN started. And now almost 20 years on, we're still going, still supporting Black migrant women, but not exclusive, and providing support, advocacy, immigration advice, food and in crises, supporting people in hospital appointments. We also have a house. So for women who cannot get on the tenancy ladder, who are new, we get a room for you and you can rent that and then build your tenancy history from there. We have a growing space for women to revisit their growing skills, because most African migrant women have got skills of growing in one way or the other. So our growing space helps with that. We have a choir where sisterhood matters more than the voices. So get to sing and enjoy the joys. And we also have a furniture hub, which is pre-loved furniture to donate or sell at a low cost to women who are either moving or relocating or needing a refurb in their home. So that in a nutshell is kind of SORN.
Fantastic.
Right, shall I ask this one? Claire's told me that when she met you guys in September, there was a lot of laughter and a lot of humour. Can you tell us how humour is important in the work that you do?
I think humour is the thread that runs through everything we do, supported by love and compassion. Lots of people, like Matt said before, are very, very lonely, very isolated. And we've all got something in common, and that is we all need a little bit of joy, a little bit of fun in our life. Now, when Lillian said the sisterhood matters more than the singing, she's only saying that because I'm actually in the Christie at the minute with somebody, being a good friend and good neighbour, and we're laughing about what's going on. Lillian wouldn't have said that if I'm there. So sisterhood does matter, but our singing is fabulous. We write songs based on experiences, we sing them. We use what we've got, which often is we turn not tragedies, but terrible stories that have often been done to people through systems that can't hear and don't listen, into things that make us smile, things that make us laugh. And hopefully, eventually, these same things will change the very systems that have damaged us. So we have a lot of love, a lot of laughing. We have a lot of tissues. We always have tissues. But moving forward, we are rooted in the community of Chadderton. We do spend a lot of time, we walk the walk with people, which is why I'm at the Christie at the moment, with somebody. That's why I'm not in the office. Because if somebody needs somebody, then we are the somebody that they go to. So we laugh, we cry, we sing, we dance, we live, and ultimately we all die like everybody does. But we do it in style, we do it with grace, and occasionally the odd disgrace.
So watch the clip.
Thanks, Karen. When we met in that sort of weird corporate training centre that we had a really nice residential weekend away in, you guys took part in an evening on Saturday night called Organisers Got Talent, and you put on a play for us to show us a little insight into what it's like to be a woman who's arriving in the UK. And I'm just going to show a little clip from that play, if you don't mind, and then we're going to come back to you.
Oh, my daughter, this is not very easy.
Come in. Good morning.
Good morning, Miss. Hello, my name is Mrs. Adwombe, and this is my daughter, Nora. We have been told to come and see you. Is it okay we come in?
Please come in. Take a seat.
Thank you.
Thank you. Can I just check, please, your name? Mrs. Adiwombe?
It's Mrs. Adwombe.
No problem, Mrs. Adiwombe. No problem at all. Please take a seat. Can I just show you my identification?
Yes,
very
please.
important person, Home Office. Just some clarification. Thank you. We're here to help.
Thank you.
No
I've been
problem.
told to come and see you and tell you what is happening with me.
Yes. Can I check your address, please?
I live on number 7, Walker's Lane.
Number 7, Walker's Lane. And your number, your reference number, Home Office reference number is 007.
It's 702.
Oh, I've got 007.
It's 702.
I will have to check that. That may take me some time, but I can't do it today because obviously we don't have a lot of time because I'm a very busy person. I've got people queuing.
I understand.
No problem. So I've checked the name, the number I will check. Your daughter is a little fidgety. What I need to do today is gather your information, collectively write it, and then pass it up to my senior to look at it and to see what the next steps are in your immigration process. This will take some time, and you will have to bear with us because you are one of... Oh, those are lovely earrings for a refugee. Are they gold?
I had to come with some of my gold that I had.
Very pretty, very pretty. Could you tell me your story, please? What has happened? What has brought you to the UK in this dire state that you're in?
Right. It was an amazing show because I felt like you guys brought us a play with the insight into the experience of someone entering that system and then coming to get the support and the refuge from your community, the sort of contrast between how people are treated when they arrive versus how you guys show up with the real community and the real support that people actually need. And it was it's such a nice way to get an insight into that experience for your organisation. So I don't know if you want to say anything about why you guys did that work to put the play together.
We actually use legislative theatre a lot. Nora, do you want to talk about it? Are you there?
Yeah. The reason why we chose that as immigrants from Africa, personally, I have life experience for going through Home Office. I came here and claimed asylum as a refugee, and I needed protection. But when I went to claim asylum, I was detained in the Home Office. It wasn't easy, and it's just the trauma it puts you through and the way you go through it. In moments like that, you just need somebody who's strongly puts in that position about like to tell you that everything is gonna be okay, just to encourage you just to carry on. Because while I was in detention center, a lot happened really, and meeting a lot of people going through different cases, those who have been through the appeals and tribunals and who have run out of even any case, but they're still traumatized by deporting them, yet they seek asylum. So because of that, we came up with that clip, and we're just trying to show people who don't know what happens in there and the trauma it poses on a person. Because even up to now, I still live with that, and it's going to be probably for as long as I live. But it took me, when I walked through it, I took it upon myself to be there and support a woman who is going through that stage of immigration. So we stand with them. We're not immigration officers, but we do stand with the person from the background just to support them through the journey, encourage them, find out the best what they can do while they're waiting, or while they've got their applications in, or support them even just to gather information and put things together while they prepare for their Home Office interviews yeah.
Thank you so much. Thank you. We have one more question which we're asking to all of our guests. Any of you can answer. What do you think it takes to be a good neighbour?
Being where the person needs you to be, and that can be next to them, it can be in front of them, it can be behind them, it can be inside their head. And to be a good neighbour, what we need to recognise, we've all got the skills. We don't often recognise them and use them. If we all look at our faces, we might look differently, but we've all got 2 eyes, 2 ears and 1 mouth. So we need to look, listen more than we speak. And when we're listening, we need to really listen, not be token listening and looking around the room. We need to listen for what the real message that people who are traumatised by the very systems that are meant to heal, which are actually harming. And it's not the people using the systems, it's actually the systems that can't keep up. So we need to recognise we need to be with people, walk the journey with them, not instead of them, not take them, not we can guide, we can support, but people can walk very well on their own 2 feet if they're given opportunities, they're given the support to do so, and the chance to make mistakes and grow and lead their own lives.
Thanks, Karen. Thank you so much. Wise words. Wise words. All right. So, you may be relieved we're nearly at the end of the show. As we said earlier, Good Neighbours is part of the Fête of Britain, which is our nationwide campaign to help to make people feel like they could run the country better themselves, and also perhaps to notice that, in fact, they already do. A few weeks ago, we held an amazing event in Liverpool using music, art and culture as a way to shine a light on the community organising that's going on there and to build a bit of unity. So we got a little video to show you a little highlight of what happened there.
She got the glow, I got the glow, we got the glow now, everyone knows. She got the glow, I got the glow, we got the glow now, everyone knows. She got the glow, I got the glow, we got the glow now, everyone knows. She got the glow, glow, glow. She got the glow, I got the glow.
It's all about how we can celebrate the arts and culture, community and care.
Look, you don't need us lot up on stage to tell you that it's an absolute shit show out there, do you?
She's the star, she's the brightest. She got the glow, I got the glow. We got the glow now, everyone knows. She got the glow, I got the glow. So much love, don't burn out though. Everything's well. Having a good time, ask yourself.
Hi everyone, I'm Jo. I've been asked to host the zine making workshop at the back.
My name's John. I run Crosstown Recording Studios in Liverpool.
My name's John Van Mel. I'm the senior youth worker at the Shoes here at Everton.
I'm Faye Heron. I've been mentoring for Arts Emergency and I'm here with a mentee called Danielius.
I'm Emma, founder of Neo Community.
Call to action would be to have a look what zines are and have a look at how we can subvert some of the things that are being said online.
Go to gigs, buy records.
There's plenty of opportunities to go and volunteer with the kids. If there's any way you think you can help out, you're always welcome. So
We need you to volunteer, donate, organise and speak up.
Thank you so much. Round of applause. Thank you from the Fête of Britain. Now, as you can see, things have got rather witchy in here, and that is because we are entering Samhain. It's very serious. Okay, that is the period between autumn and winter. It's been hijacked as Halloween, but we're going a bit more pagan with this. Okay, now we invite you at home and also in the studio. Have we provided these people with paper and pens? We are going to invite you to do a little Samhain ritual where you will write down 3 of your intentions to be a good neighbour, a good person, and less of a twat this Samhain.
All you need, just take a pen, a paper, find a lighter. Don't do it wearing a wig like this because you might set yourself on fire.
Okay, we're going to now take 30 seconds to write down. It could be 3 words, 3 sentences if you're a very quick writer. Okay. Okay, everybody, now take your piece of paper. Take a deep breath. Exhale. Okay, now put your intentions onto here, and now we light these and we offer them to the universe without setting fire to the studio on the first pilot episode of the show you hope to run more episodes of.
Also the wig.
And the wig, the very flammable wig. It's my real hair. What are you talking about? Okay, so we invite you all now to do this. Do it over your sink. Okay, watch the embers burn as your intentions are set, and you are now, that's very warm. Okay, we are now ready to enter Samhain. Here we go, come and put them in here. Come on, audience. There we go, enter into the fire, come over. There we go. Very good. Thank you so much. You haven't folded those, I can see those intentions. What is it? What is it? We now have a real fire hazard. Can someone take this out of the building? Whose bright idea was it to use fire in the first episode? Okay, ritual complete! Yay! Bloody hell. Oh my God.
Can you read that?
Okay. Now, if that was not guidance enough for you, we are very lucky to have in the studio today, we have got the great Gandolfo, an internationally renowned psychic, a real psychic here with his crystal ball to do Britain's Got Tarot.
Greetings. We are now going to enter into dialogue with some good neighbours that are beyond the room. With the aid of my trusty crystal ball, we are consulting the tarot cards, and I will ask the cards the most crucial question of all. What will help us become good neighbours? Behold.
All right. Now then. What are the cards, Charlie? What are the cards?
I will shuffle the cards and I will reveal 3 cards that speak to us from the past. Temperance. That will speak to us about our present. The Star. And will speak to us about our future. The Queen of Pentacles.
Ooh.
Crystal ball. What do these cards tell us about how to be a good neighbour?
They tell us, first of all, to wipe your spittle off my bald head. There's a lot of water in these cards. The Temperance card is about balance. The Star is about what we wish for. The Queen of Pentacles is about going inside with what is purposeful and precious to you. What does this mean for Britain today? There is wonder to be had. There is balance and wishes and positive thoughts and a way through the sadness and the darkness that we're currently facing. All we need to do is, first of all, get naked, put 1 foot in the water, find some wine jugs, lots of money and a crown. I think Andrew's just given one up, so we could grab it off him. And not get too drunk, essentially.
Boo.
That's the future.
Yay! Oh my gosh. Thank you so much, the great Gandalf and Cockney Crystal Ball.
Put my cover back on. I want my cover back. I want my cover back.
You want your cover? Oh, there we go. Oh, yeah. It does get very cold, that Cockney Crystal Ball. Right. Now, if that hasn't set you up for a wonderful Halloween and how to be a better neighbour, I really don't know what will. I found it personally very inspirational to meet all those people we had on today. Such good people. And so are you for coming. That was our first episode, but we're hoping to do another one next November, the 28th. So please come and see us then and subscribe in the meantime to the Fête of Britain. That's Fête, F-E-T-E. You see what we did there. I've been Jessie Lou. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much. I've got to thank everyone who's made today happen. So thank you especially to Anthea and Maff and the brilliant women from Sawn for joining us online. Thank you, Roger Silly, for hosting us at Silly Towers in your bunker and the Bureau of Silly Ideas. Thank you, Josh, for making us idents, and thank you, Matt Black, for making us a real live theme tune. And of course, thank you especially to the live audience and to our mystics here and the technical team in the back end.
And Clare Farrell.
Thank you very much.